ask yourself these two simple questions. So what? And what next? And is it compulsory to have a confidence all the time? So stop taking all your failures to your heart and making it like a huge thing and getting hurt deeply and messing up the whole life. And failure is a stepping stone to success, as failure is a best learning curve, because there will be many more rejections compared to our success and achievements. Coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. It's no secret, friends, you have a purpose and you have the highest potential. Dream it, believe it, achieve it. So dream big, truly believe in it, and achieve it 100% to live the life fullest. And I want to join hands with you on this mission to learn and grow together, to engage, enlighten, and empower. Yes, this is solo episode of your host Jyoti G on Stars of Learning podcast. Let's begin. Hey friends, I'm so glad that you are joining me today, and I'm sure the title would have caught your attention. So let's unveil the mystery of the law of wasted effort. So to begin, friends, I have three questions for you. What do you think when failure happens to you? Do you believe failure is a stepping stone to success? And do you agree that failures cannot be permanent? Yes, friends, in my journey of life, be it professional or personal, what I understood is failure is a best learning curve, as it gives us an opportunity to realize that there are many alternative ways for us to acquire our goals. And what's more important in this process is to have the right vision and change the mindset positively towards failure, because it's enabling you to learn and get better. I know now you're getting jittery and irritated and saying, Jyoti, failure is a failure and that's not good. And maybe why to paint that beautifully? I, I, I do agree that it's painful when you fail. And my only request to you, when you go through that failure, please pause for a moment and reflect and change your mindset and ask yourself these two simple questions, friends, whenever you fail. The number one question, so what? And the number two, what next? And if we are clear with these two answers, we are able to move on. Again, failures are good, as they will tell you that you have been following the wrong path, or maybe your strategy was not right. Maybe there is a flaw in the process of the approach what you have thought, and that's okay. Okay, probably I would say that learning from failures is the best way to broaden our perspectives. Do you agree? So friends, why are we discussing about failure? Because you might have not heard the concept of the law of wasted efforts, or maybe you know about it but not in detail. And this information is floating on the internet for ages now, and I thought it would be immensely valuable to our listeners, for each of us, especially professionals, educators, students, parents. And in fact, it applies to everyone. Every human being need to know the law of wasted efforts. So let's understand in general this universal law that governs everyone and everything in this universe. So to proceed, friends, do you know the king of jungle only succeed in a quarter of their hunting attempts? This means they fail in 75% of their attempts and succeed only 25%. And despite the small percentage of win, they don't despair in their pursuit, do they? And maybe you would be wondering the main reason could be, they are because of hunger. But it is the understanding of the law of wasted efforts, friends, that have been very well built into animals, a law in which nature is governed. By the way, are you aware? Half of the eggs of fishes are eaten. Half of the baby bears die before puberty. And most of the world's rain fall in oceans. And most of the seeds of trees are eaten by birds itself. And half of the seeds sown into the soil do not grow at all. And do you wonder why? And scientists have found that animals, trees, and other forces of nature are more receptive to this law of wasted efforts. And only humans think, that the lack of success in a few attempts, is a huge failure. But the truth is that we only fail when we stop trying, right? And don't you agree that people who understood this and kept trying wi- and who never gave up are the ones that you eventually who made it to the top in their profession. They became the gem in every walk of their lives. So from my end, friends, I'm aware consciously of the law of wasted efforts, and I thought I should sensitize you guys as I came across many people in my life who amplify failure as a huge blocker in their life, and they can't grow, they can't proceed at all. For example, especially students, okay, they say that they failed in their exams, they did not get their good grades. So my question to each student who has this kind of a thought and blocking themselves from looking beyond, is it a law that you will pass every time you attempt the exam? Or is there a rule that you have to get through good grades only all the time? No, right? It all depends on how you have taken action to get that kind of a result. Few things are not even in our control, right? Why this kind of a thought has come into the student's head. And I'm not debating the system here, culture or upbringing or anything of that sort. Let's be focused on the law of wasted efforts, okay? Another classic example, okay, where I was coaching a woman, and she outwardly said that, I'm a divorcee, Jyoti, and I'm taking care of my only child as a single parent. And that was disturbing her progress, guys. Think about it. Is it a rule that you will have to be successful in all relationships and in every walk of life? Obviously, you know the answer. And during our conversation, I could sense that she's doing really good with her friends. Her family are being supportive. Her relationship with her husband's family is also great. So, what is the failure here? So, friends, learning to move on in the relationship is also important and not get stuck to that one bad part of your life and put a big wall between you and the better life which you have the other side. So, friends, somebody questioned me. I see you happy all the time, Jyoti. You are so energetic. So, you're smiling always. Uh, I don't think you ever get depressed or cry. What do you think, friends? My answer would have been to them. Of course, yes. Everyone has ups and downs in life, and everyone have to go through that kind of an emotions. And I also get all sorts of emotions, especially when I'm fighting with my kids. I do fight, ask them. When I argue with my husband's parents, my teams, my colleagues, my sisters know my irritation as they're my best pals. And especially when watching movies, okay, I laugh, I cry, I get angry with the villain in the movie also. I debate a lot, and I also wonder why at all I got into that kind of a zone. Why was that kind of an argument? Why did I let down myself? Why did I be that dumb? And I realized in that process that's okay. So I tell that to myself, it's okay. And and is it compulsory to have a confidence all the time, have that kind of a energy all the time? No. And it depends on the situations. And if I have made a mistake, or I've messed up, or I've been rejected for the project what I'm supposed to be doing it, sometimes you get that flow. I do cry, and my mentor told me that that's the best thing. And definitely it has made me feel better, lighter. And that's true, friends. And the fact why you get hurt and you move on is okay. But if we are stuck with our expectation that life has to be this way, and this has to be acknowledged, and this should be the way, then that would become a biggest reason for our unhappiness, friends. So in a general context, I'm saying, let's understand the law of impermanence of nature. Like, I keep saying for many people that after each sunny day there has to be a dark night. And dark night is not bad, it's very good, because we are able to get a good sleep, rest well. When there is a night, comes a day too. And if you want to see a full moon again, it has to pass through no moon, right? And a classic example, if you want to see a rainbow in this summer, is that possible? And with that notion, don't think you're a failure because you did not see a rainbow. You have to wait. You have to wait for the rainy season, and the rain has to come, plus the sun has to shine. Only then you will be able to see the rainbow. Again, friends, in this imperfection of nature, there is loads of perfection. So, friends, stop taking all your failures to your heart and making it like a huge thing and getting hurt deeply and messing up the whole life. It's just a cycle, and that wave need to pass through, and that's a way of life. And what you need to be conscious is, don't take too much time to bounce back. Learn how to decide quickly. It is not uncertain situations, but an uncertain mind, that often leads to failure. So believe in the nature, believe in the cycle. We need to pass through this phase and prepare yourself, because even failures cannot be permanent. So, all said and done, I agree 100%. This feeling of fear of failure or rejection, that would still be haunting us in our subconscious mind. And that will not go away. That's what I want you to be aware of. And just simply see around your life itself instances like a mother giving birth to a child, the child growing up, when the child starts going to school, and the child moving to next stage, and before that getting admission to the school is a big fear, right, for parents. And and that fear passes to the students also when they start working on their final years, and when they get into their jobs, they get into this project deliverables, performance appraisal, salary hike, getting into the relationship. Every instance there is a fear, and that could be a failure or a rejection. And we need to go through that consciously, get ready to get absorbed to deal with this kind of a fear of failure or rejection. And why do I say that? Because there will be many more rejections compared to our success and achievements. So let's grapple this, which leads to self doubt, our own capability, and putting ourselves down, making our life miserable. Knock all these things from your life to get better. Definitely, I also fail. I acknowledge whenever I've failed, and I appreciate the process because I get to focus on the learning, and it gives me to reflect how better I need to get through. And it's what's important is we continue and with a never give up attitude. And that's what law of wasted efforts is all about, friends. Let me add few exemplary leaders examples here. Okay. I'm sure Apple will be on the top brand when it comes to phone, right? And the then CEO Steve Jobs was once a college dropout. He was fired from his own company and then he succeeded becoming a CEO of Apple again. And he is known as a master of innovation. And I'm sure we have grown up in this childhood story, right? Hearing to Thomas Alva Edison's story, where our teachers would have told us that he failed 1,000 times while inventing the light bulb. And he turned out to be a winner of 22 Academy Awards. And for all our cricket fans here, MS Dhoni, one of the greatest cricketer, right? He initially played badminton and football. And he took up the job of a train ticket examiner in the Indian Railways. And MS Dhoni is a captain of Indian cricket team and his records are the best among all, right? And his leadership style has become a learning for many management schools. And coming to politics, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has faced many odds in his path. I'm sure we know through his books. He started working at an early age by distributing newspapers after school. And he had average grades, guys, in his schooling. From there on, he went to head the Defense Research and Development Organization, one of the prestigious institute for as an Indian scientist. And he also became the 11th president of India. So if we look around, friends, there are hundreds of examples around us. And look at all these successful people. You can look at failure people also and why they are failing. But I'm saying look at these successful people so that you know what and how they are able to make that win. For example, Amitabh Bachchan, Albert Einstein, Henry Ford, Ratan Tata, Dhirubhai Ambani, Narayan Murthy. And these are some of the inspiration leaders, leaders whom you can read and get insights about them. They have failed multiple times before becoming successful in whatever parts of profession they are in. So, friends, I finally understood that whether it's about surviving in nature or hunting as a predator or playing the game or building an IT giant company, whatever that we are doing, this awareness of wasted efforts made these people sharper, better, richer to ultimately succeed, in reaching their goals. So, to conclude, friends, you can halt or take rest momentarily, but you cannot say quit because success does not come after a few attempts of failure. You need to keep trying, never give up till you succeed. So, learn to grow in your life at each stage and go beyond by understanding the power of your wasted efforts. And also, let's agree that all of us are vulnerable to faults. We have our own weaknesses and failures will happen. So don't shy away from owning your mistakes also, guys. So when it happens, believe that you are wiser today than you were yesterday as you have enhanced your knowledge in the process. So the universal success secret mantra for law of wasted efforts will simply be learn from your failure, take action, don't quit, continue all over again until you succeed. Again, my lovely listeners, wishing you all the best and take pride in your wasted efforts while you continue to aim your goals for success. Thank you. So friends, I hope you enjoyed this conversation and I'm always grateful for everyone who tunes in, listens, subscribes and have left reviews of my podcast on iTunes. By the way, if you have not done that yet, that would mean a world to me. Head over iTunes and I would be happy if you take a moment to rate and comment. If you got any value or learning listening to this podcast, do share this amazing information to help many others to engage, enlighten and empower. Thank you once again for joining in and I'm your host Jyoti ji signing off from Stars of Learning podcast. Thank you.